Ed O'Keefe joins me now. Ed, you got some interesting developments to convey to the audience. Please do so.
Well, Major, as we wait word on whether the suspect has been apprehended in Utah or wherever they may be, our colleague Jennifer Jacobs conveys that there have been discussions internally at the White House and across the administration today about whether other Trump administration officials who don't currently receive some kind of security protection should, in fact, get more protection from either the Secret Service or other agencies. But there are, and while there were several internal discussions about this afternoon, those agencies don't have unlimited staff. So to the point you were raising there with Chairman Whatley about his protection and as a candidate, his concerns for it, there are also those that work across the administration this afternoon here in Washington who are quite concerned. They're all equally, they're equally young compared to Charlie Kirk. They're equally high profile in many cases. And if it can happen to Charlie Kirk at a college campus in Utah, obviously there's going to be grave concern that it could happen to others as they go about their business, unfortunately. So that's an early sign of the reaction. The other thing we should convey, Major, if you didn't, forgive me if you did at the top, the president has ordered flags across the country to fly at half-staff until 6 p.m. Sunday in honor of his friend Charlie Kirk. They have lowered them, at least one of them so far, at the White House, and you will see that across the country here in the coming hours as it happens. I think you see them there now lowered at half-staff. So that's another thing that has happened. And we've seen the political reaction continue to pour in from Republicans, of course, but Democrats as well. Just a little while ago, former President Joe Biden and his conveying thoughts of his own and then of the former First Lady, saying there's no place in our country for this kind of violence. It must end now. Jill and I are praying for Charlie Kirk's family and loved ones. But I think, Major, one of the things that guys like you and I who do this for a living and our staffs need to remember is there are going to be a lot of people who see this news this afternoon and have no idea who Charlie Kirk is. Mm-hmm. And that's not their fault.
No.
And it speaks to the incredibly digital and algorithmic world that we now live in, that their scroll on a daily basis is not serving them Turning Point USA or Charlie Kirk adjacent content. They have no idea what he's done for the Trump movement, for the Make America Great Again movement, for the Republican National Committee, for GOP candidates up and down the ballot across the country, and the influence he had in putting together the Trump government, the second Trump government, being at Mar-a-Lago last fall during the transition, literally sitting there with the president and a handful of other aides going, that guy, not that guy for this job, that woman, not her for this other gig, and making sure that they could get confirmed and that the Senate delivered the votes necessary. Also the guy that was putting pressure on people like Senator Joni Ernst earlier this year when she raised concerns about Pete Hegseth's nomination to run the Pentagon. He was the one that threatened potential primaries and other political retribution should they not follow through with the president's wishes. He was that kind of an influential figure. And in the world we live in, you may not listen to his satellite radio channel, but a lot of your relatives and friends and coworkers probably did. They'll know who he is, and you should talk to them about who he was and what he did. And the fact that, as the chairman said and others have said, he was a happy warrior. We should be looking for happy warriors on all sides of the aisle and celebrating them and letting them be happy warriors, whether you like them or not, whether you agree with them or not.
Exquisitely well said, Ed, and I think it's worth diving just a bit deeper in that because for some Americans in the Trump movement, especially young conservatives, this afternoon will be a where were you when you heard the news moment.
Yep.
Deeply traumatizing, profoundly meaningful.
Yep.
And to your point, there'll be those Americans who say, who? Charlie Kirk? And that's what you're driving at. This great, cavernous, algorithmic divide in information, awareness, and appreciation of those involved in our political life, where one set of Americans this afternoon is as emotionally rocked as they could possibly be about someone they might not have known personally but was meaningful to them in politics, and another set of Americans utterly unaware of who this person was or that person's involvement or role in the very governing structure influencing their life. And that divide is part and parcel of what we are and we will continue to wrestle with. And I'm so deeply grateful that you brought that up. Ed O'Keefe, thank you very, very much.